Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new video. In this video, we are going to be ranking every single country / territory on planet Earth. Are you guys excited? Because I am off my rocker. So excited to do this video. I might get a little controversial in some statements. I might not. That's for you to decide, my friends. We are going in. Am I a political expert? No. Am I a geographic expert? No. Am I even a culinary food expert? No, I am not. But what I am is I am a grifter. And a grifter grifts. And now the biggest grift is the country grift. So we are going to grift countries and territories. What are we basing them on? Who the fuck knows? Are you guys excited? Because I am excited. I'm going to start with the lovely country of Norway. What a perfect place to start. Okay, so Norway is a country located, in the northern hemisphere. For any of you Americans, that's in Europe. I think, Norway, Sweden, the Scandinavian countries, they get a lot of good press online, and they're almost shown as this, holy land of what a country can do. What a country can do with such, minimal, let's say, equipment. And I think it's true that they do have some great things over there, but I think that it's a little bit too overrated because a lot of people don't know that, things are a little bit pricey over there. Down in the beautiful land of Norway, things are a little bit pricey. Taxes are enormous down there. But I think that's still the case. I think the general citizen there, besides, the weather, of course, they generally live a pretty decent life. Things are pretty safe down there. So I think if you are a Norwegian, it's a pretty good place. People are pretty Chad-like there. There is a good backstory behind Norway. I think it's a pretty good place. Would I live there? No, it's a little too cold for me. But besides that, it is still pretty good. I think we're going to give it a A tier. We might bump it up or lower it down as we go along. But I still think it's so much glazed online that it almost makes you want to hate the country, but I think it is still pretty good country. Pakistan. Okay, well, what a fucking difference Pakistan and Norway is. They're almost on the polar opposite, it's sort of the coin, the two-faced coin. One side represents something, the other side represents the absolute other thing. From what I hear, I think I like Pakistan that little bit much more than India. I don't know too much about Pakistan. I don't know too much about these countries, but from what I can tell, I'm not being an asshole. I'm just trying to be realistic. But from what I can tell is that it is a pretty dirty place. I think the people there, however, I think they're great and they're very loyalist people and very patriotic people to their country. I mean, they love their country no matter what. And for that reason, because of that love of one country, I think Pakistan might become a superpower. And the reason is because their hatred of the beautiful land of India, I think that hatred of the people will fuel them for the next upcoming years into becoming a beautiful superpower. I'm waiting for it in the next couple years. But still, where it stands right now, we're going to put a little Pakistan in D tier. I think that was a little some sort of, I think KSI got canceled for saying that. I didn't mean that in a derogatory way. I meant that referring to the country, giving a nickname for the country. Fuck. I think I'm fucked. Palestine. What another, controversial topic. Palestine. East Palestine, Ohio is pretty good. Okay, on a serious note, I think obviously the land is very sacred there. We're not gonna go like over, a whole list of which part, quote unquote, belongs to who, because some people it doesn't even belong to the other side. Like full point, we're just gonna like rank that sort of region of the earth. We're not gonna rank what's going on politically right there. We're gonna specifically, just for this specific one, we're gonna talk about the geography of that location just for this one, okay? Just for this one. I think there's some amazing sites down there, very biblical sites. For that reason, that definitely bumps it up. I still think that there's a real lack of architectural planning when it comes to those locations. The irrigation system isn't too good. I think there needs a little bit. Bro's talking about the fucking irrigation in Palestine. I think, just for this one, I don't want to get too controversial, my friends, but we're going to put it in C tier. C tier. Papua New Guinea, these sort of places, these Papua New Guinea, these Polynesian sort of places, I feel, wait, let me double check where Papua New Guinea. New Guinea. Yes, in Oceania. Let me double check to see it on the map exactly where it is so I can get a good situation of where your beautiful might be. I don't know if anybody's watching here from fucking Papua New Guinea. Yeah. So I don't know. So I'm going to rank it based on geography because I don't know too well, but I can kind of get a sense of the land that we're dealing with here. Papua New Guinea, I think, is a place that is so fucking underrated. You almost never hear unless in like passing, you never hear of these places anymore, and I think that's a real shame because I think the diversity and I think the animals there, and I think the fucking geography there, I think is great, and I think it's a great location spot, and I think Papua New Guinea, from what I can tell, I don't think it's too expensive. Tell me if I'm wrong. So for that reason, we're gonna put it in C tier. Peru, my friends, Peruvian cocaine. Peru, I think, it is one of those, South American countries. From what I can tell, from what I can see based upon my scientific Grifter research, it is pretty safe, and apparently people are fucking short there, which kind of, puts it down on the list. It would be more if they could reach up there. But still, I still think that Peru has a lot of great aspects to it. I think that the beautiful, locale, the beautiful geography of Peru, I think is really great. I think there's some great mountainscapes over there, really beautiful vistas. That definitely bumps it up. I think we're going to put it in B tier because I think it's also because it's in South America. You kind of get a double-edged sword of it being really cheap, but also really sort of dangerous. And for that reason, there is that double-edged sword. I think Peru, the reputation of it is not being as dangerous as the other places, but I'm still sure there's some shit, goes down there from time to time. For that reason, I'm going to put it in B tier. Pitcairn Islands, what the okay, Pitcairn Islands, pretty fucking like, what the fuck, like, these fucking geography bros, they think we fucking know every place on fucking planet Earth. My bad if you come from Pitcairn Islands. Is it even, like, it's in the middle of fucking nowhere, no? My bad if you come from there, by the way. I don't know if anybody's watching this video that comes from fucking Pitcairn Islands. Is it just a rock? Oh no, there is a village. It's just a fucking, like, I don't know too much about this place. Okay, I think it's in the middle of the ocean, middle of the Pacific Ocean. I don't think there's too much there. And I don't think these countries, these idealistic, Bahamas type location, only one beautiful island. You're secluded from the world. I think they're great in your mind, when you play in your mind, when you go to your fucking 905 or you go to your school or something, you play that playback in your mind of thinking, when I'm rich, I'm going to go on an island. I'm going to live there forever. I'm going to be like James Bond at the end of his movie. I'm going to live there and I'm going to have a good life there. And nobody's going to bother me. That's not true. I think if you go to a place like that, like, I think it'll be good for, tops 2 weeks. But once you start living there and you start really doing nothing there, I think it gets pretty boring and you kind of feel secluded, a little lonely from the rest of the population. And for that reason, I think we're putting it in C tier. Actually, put in fucking C, Pakistan. I'd rather live in fucking Pakistan. I'd rather live in one of these countries, and I'd rather live in these fucking idyllic places. But then, I don't really serve anything to humanity. I'm just there, just chilling around, really doing nothing, just like kind of wasting along the sideways. I think that's pretty good, for a week or two, for a nice little vacation or something like that. But I think you really gotta be connected to the world. That's my theory. I think that's a Pitcairn Island placement. Portugal. I really fucking like Portugal. I really do. I think the food there is really great. I think it's one of the more underrated parts of Europe. It also is the place in Europe who has the biggest fall off. Contenders being the UK, but contenders being Spain. You don't really hear too much about Spain and Portugal nowadays, but it's so fucking underrated, I think, nowadays. Obviously not if you were fucking Christopher Columbus, or during those times it wasn't a fucking underrated. But still, I think it's really underrated nowadays. I think it's really beautiful, and it almost has that tropical feeling, which is insane for, a European country. I think it's great. I think it's really great, really underrated. I would argue reasonably cheap. And there's just some amazing historical sites there that you cannot miss. And for that reason, it is a B tier, I think, above Peru, my friends. Qatar is one of those Middle Eastern countries with a shit ton of money. And for that reason, there is a shit ton of things to do there. I have a friend who comes from Ecuador, and I think he really likes Ecuador. And for that reason, I think that we're going to put Qatar in an F tier, because my friend from Ecuador is watching, I think. Okay, so Romania, the Andrew Tate place, the fucking Castle place, the Steeler place. I think it's a pretty underrated place in my spot. Fucking Tate blew it up. I can't believe one fucking guy fucking blew up a whole country that's been there for fucking history. I'm just fucking joking around, but Romania, I think it's one of another, sort of underrated Balkanese type countries that you hear about now because of the internet and because of, there's a prominent celebrity there. But I still think that it's still a very underrated place. And I think that there is some shit to do there that you can done very cheaply, and you can done in Europe. And I don't think it's too dangerous there, which I think we're going to put it, we're going to put the bottom of Peru. Hotel Rwanda. By the way, when I fucking talk about any country that isn't in Europe or the North, if there's no country that's in... prepare to hear the worst fucking takes for any country that isn't in Europe. Or specifically, Western Europe. Maybe America. I might have a little couple takes there. But if it's not that, you're going to hear some fucking shit-ass takes. Hotel Rwanda. Fucking... Oh, shit. I don't know, man. I don't know what to fucking say. I don't know this place. Okay. We're going to put in Rwanda. And we're going to put in... We're going to do a little research while we're watching the video. While you guys watch. This is beautiful, dog. What the fuck, bro? Okay, based on Google Maps, based on Google Image, it's all right. What the fuck? This looks actually fucking dope. This is obviously like the propaganda side. Obviously, I bet living in the country would be a lot different. That's generally the case for most countries, but it looks pretty good. I think definitely for a country in Africa. And when you go to a country in Africa, you just get a whole different fucking vibe than any other country in the world. I think people are a lot nicer there, or at least a lot more grateful there for what they have than I think in these other supposedly rich countries. I think this is fucking beautiful, honestly. This is a beautiful, beautiful place. I think this shit looks actually cool. I think it's a good place if you have the money for it and like you go with like a fucking crew or some shit. Yeah, it looks all right. Looks pretty decent in my opinion. Doesn't look that bad, especially for, I'm not going to say it, but it does look pretty good, for a quote unquote African country. People think that shit is like racist, but it is true, it is a poorer part of the world. But yeah, I think it's pretty good for for the continent that it's in. I think it looks pretty good, pretty cool location spot, pretty good geography. For that reason, I'm going to put it in B tier. St. Lucia. Isn't this just okay? Another, very sophisticated. Okay, is this one of those? Okay, this actually looks a lot better than the pick Karens, and this shit looks actually fucking dope. Damn. This shit looks dope. You don't hear about St. Lucia a lot. That shit is amazing. What? That's like my fucking screensaver. But still, I think that, these places, they're good for tourism. They're good for, 1 or 2 weeks. But I feel like living there is a much different story. Not hating on anybody who lives in these fucking countries. I'm just saying that you are secluded from the rest of the world. And you are secluded from other things. And you kind of feel lonely after that certain period of time. You pass like 2 weeks there for a nice little honeymoon, a nice little wedding or something like that. Like it serves its purpose in that scenario as a great, amazing place. But in that place, that is just I don't want to be an asshole toward these countries, but that's just a background. You don't really appreciate, the historical aspect of that society when you are there for just 2 weeks. It could be anywhere. You could do your fucking wedding in the middle of fucking Zimbabwe. Or you could do it in the middle of fucking Turkey. You could do it in the middle of fucking the Western Sahara. And it would still be the same thing. You don't have an appreciation of the language. It's just a fucking backdrop. So that's a real problem I think that, people have. I don't think it's a problem. I just think it's like just a fact. And you kind of go there just for the tourism and you don't really appreciate the real culture there. Not dogging on anybody who does, but it kind of like changes your mind, think about the country. For that reason, we're going to put it next to fucking Pakistan. Yeah, we're putting this next to fucking Pakistan, okay? Rage in the fucking comments, okay? Yeah. I firm a fucking case. I'm standing on business. Official is the flag of... What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this flag? Is this made by like a guy? Like, come on, I could make a better flag. I think people in the comments I make better fucking thumbnails than this flag. What the fuck is this flag? It's made like, what the fuck is, this is terrible. The flag is terrible. I think it's another case. I'm going to take a wild guess. Okay, we're going to Saint-Pierre. Okay. It's a lot different, my friends, than what I thought. I think this is a sort of... honestly, it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty dope. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I think it's I guess it's sort of a fishing type village. And you sort of visit it because you want to be in France. I don't really have much to say. I think if you lived here, compared to a place like... Okay, here's a difference between places like this and St. Lucia and the Pitcairn Islands. If you go to small places like this, coastal places like this, okay, I know it's a fucking coastal place still, but if you go to places like this, you actually like it is a village aspect. You go in, and you could actually potentially understand the culture, and you could potentially still understand the people there. It's not just a fucking. It is a tourist place. I mean, everything here is a fucking tourist place, but you know what I mean. Like you can actually understand and see what the people do there, and I think that looks pretty cool. Looks pretty fucking far out there, man. I think it's a D tier. I don't know why France still has this location. Just quick access to fucking Canada, I guess. I don't really know. Yeah. Give it to me. I think give it to Mr. Beast. Fucking Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. Samoa, where the rock comes from. Another, we're going to put it in the same fucking location as Papua New Guinea, because I think it's in the same sort of region of the world. And I think my commentary on Papua New Guinea stands there because I don't know too much about these places, but I have to say that they are underrated. That's all I have to say. Sao Tome and the Principe. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I'm going to wager I did. I doubt not. Okay. Damn. I like these shady places. Okay, so it is another coastal town, but it's not the same because you can actually have a sort of connection. Like it's not crazy distance that you can go to Equatorial Guinea. It's not crazy. You could go to Gabon. I think it's a nice place. I think it's a perfect mix between that sort of paradisical place that you have mixed with, this is just me fucking guessing around, with the mix with that culture. I feel it's a lot more underground place, I think. Shit, it's winning something. It's winning something from The Guardian. Yeah, these fucking travel vloggers is having a great time. I think people are pretty poor there still. But I still think you could have a decent time here. And if you do get a little lonely, and if you do live here, you could, pop off to one of these other, neighboring countries. And for that reason, let's put it in... let's put it right next to Palestine. Scotland. I really love fucking Scotland. I think Scotland is an amazing place. I think it's one of the... okay. I think Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Scotland... how do you say that region? I don't remember how you say the fucking... Not the United Kingdom, obviously, because Ireland isn't part of the United Kingdom. Great Britain? No. How the fuck do you name, like... There's a name... I don't remember. That location, that area of the world, right? That is one of the better locations there. I think that Scotland has a lot of fucking culture. And there's a lot of interesting stuff to do. I still think that some parts, I think if you want to really fucking appreciate Scotland, I think you got to go in those fucking Highlands, where the fucking no, not the fucking, did I say Vikings? Where fucking the greats were, the great Scots, where golfing is amazing there, and there's so much shit that comes from fucking Scotland. It influenced the a lot of aspects of the United States a lot. I think there's a lot to shit to do and a lot to understand with Scotland, and I think there's a lot to love. I think the golfing there, golfing. Let's go golfing there is pretty good. I still think if you really want to appreciate it, I think you got to go outside of the city. It might be our first S tier, but because of the food there, I think is a little lacking in certain areas. I think it's going to be a tier. Serbia for S tier for obvious reasons. Okay, nah. Okay, let's be frank. I think it's still pretty underrated. I don't know, man. I don't even know. Fucking, there's a lot of memes from Serbia. I love the memes from fucking Serbia. I think it's a I think it's a similar location with Romania. That's my guessing. Yeah, I was gonna get 10 million comments saying fucking. What did you say about fucking Serbia? Well, pack it up. I mean, I said shit about every single country on this list, so pack it up, pack it in. Yeah, Sierra Leone, Diamond from Sierra Leone. Is that this is the only reason why this song is goated? No, the only reason why this country is goated is because of Kenny and the Kenny remix, Kanye West remix. Okay, I'm fucking cooked. It's a pretty round country. Like, it's one of those countries where it's the most, like, spherical. I still think that danger-wise, I don't think it's great. A lot of kids get fucking, I don't know, shady shit happens with the fucking diamond business there. We're not going to get into, because this is a family-friendly channel, after all. But some shady shit happens there. I still think it has that tropical, nice African vibe to it. I think, these places, like these African places, you go there, if you have any sort of, if you come from any sort of a rich country, you'll be treated as a fucking savior of humanity if you go there. Like, I think that they'll treat you really well, which I think is I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing. I don't know, but if you go there, I think you'll get treated really well. And I think they'll really love you, like you for it. That might be cap. That might be cap. But I think that's still the case. And for that reason, it does bump it up. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Why am I making this list? Is this rage bait? Have I successfully rage baited everybody? I don't know. Yeah, let's continue on. Let's continue marching forward, my friends. There is no stopping. There is no stopping the hunt.